Gratitude to my Gen Z, to my millennials who are tuning in, who are choosing to spend your time with me. I appreciate it. I see you. I appreciate you. I want to just give a small shout out to my state that I'm in right now, Maharashtra. You're just up there, right up there in India, Sunnyvale, California. Hi, Silicon Valley. I appreciate you. I grew up in you. I see your support. New South Wales from Australia, Ontario, Canada, Berlin, Germany, England, Scotland. I hope to see my first snow within all of you. Visit you in Christmas. Just I appreciate you. I see you. I hope to see you actually in person. That would be crazy. Yeah. Hey, what's up, you beautiful people? मेरा नाम है Aditi and आप सुन रहे हो Kai Pan Aditi, where we talk about everything, growth, gratitude, wellness, love, sometimes, maybe sometimes, rarely, dating in the city. I hope I can bring you some value, some form of entertainment without overthinking it all. Yes, I'm trying to change this tagline. You see, what you think is what you project, and that is what happens. That's how you manifest shit. So, I'm gonna try and take this in a more positive direction. We don't chase, we attract. Everything good is out there for us, and everything is rigged in our favor. I hope you enjoy. New episodes come out every Sunday at 11 a.m. Do hit the follow button. Rate my podcast. It would help me out a lot. And again, I'm not backed by a media giant. मैं individual female small content creator हूँ, based out in Mumbai, and I hope you do support me. Literally मैं अभी बेड पे बैठी हूँ and एक छोटा सा लैपल माइक्रोफोन बोलेंगे जिस पे मैं माइक पे मैं जिस पे रिकॉर्ड कर रही हूँ. Yeah, just support me. I would really appreciate that. Let's begin today's episode. We're going to be talking about failure. I have been thinking a lot about failure lately because मुझे ऐसे लगता है I am miserably failing left and right. And so, it has left me a little bit salty, कड़वाहट, थोड़ा सा खटास रह गया है. Whatever I have touched, I have sort of failed. And that is how I even started this episode. But then I have to sit down and remind कि यार हर failure के साथ मुझे कुछ success भी मिला है, मुझे कुछ realization भी मिला है. And it's like I have to look at the positives कि whenever I have fallen down, I've always had the courage, I've always had the support that I could get back up and do it all over again or choose a different field for myself. So at any point, please do not feel demotivated, because success and failure are two sides of the same coin. There's no such thing as overnight success. बहुत सारे failures मिलते हैं in hope to reach the destination, but success failures do teach you a lot for you to actually reach that point of success, right? So failures बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है to get to going where you need to go, right? चलो, let's talk about engineering. So I started back in 2011. I let somebody else decide my career, aka my parents. It wasn't a choice. You could either be a doctor or an engineer in my household, and hence I was told to choose, or I was given कि okay, आप engineering ही करोगे. Now look, I understand, I cannot even point fingers at अरे आपने तो ये गलत कर दिया, but ये भी था कि I had to really understand, sit down and understand कि हम middle class घराने से हैं, and पहले हम below middle class थे, literally it was bad, but now it's somewhere we are in the middle class category, maybe थोड़ा सा ऊपर, above middle class, but it's tough. And so it made sense because it would bring us a lot of wealth and money. All right. Something funny, in a way, looking back on it, it was, मुझे ऐसा लगता है मेरी डेस्टिनी ही थी कि मुझे इंजीनियरिंग करना है. मैं जब स्कोर्स मेरे को जब मिले थे मेरे हाथ में, जब मेरी स्कोर शीट आई थी, सो बेसिकली इंजीनियरिंग का एंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम होता है कॉल्ड CET. यू हैव टू गिव द एंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम एंड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द स्कोर्स दैट यू गेट एंड प्लस योर 12th grade marks or your senior level marks, senior grade marks, you are sort of, you understand if you made the cutoff or not for the engineering college that you want to be in, right? So neither were my 12th grade scores good enough and neither were my CET scores good enough. Like absolute shit. I will be brutally honest, it was absolutely shit. It was not enough to be eligible to enroll for engineering. And then somewhere, the government intervened. I don't know why or how, but that specific year the cutoff scores were re-evaluated and lowered down enough that I for a change met the criteria now, which honestly looking back still makes me laugh. I guess my parents did manifest pretty hard enough for me to be an engineer. Sadly, तब 3 Idiots movie release हुई नहीं थी, or else I would have just used R माधवन का डायलॉग, पापा मैं इंजीनियर नहीं बनना चाहता और बन भी गई तो बहुत ख़राब इंजीनियर बनूंगी. Let me just say I miserably failed as an IT engineer. No, like, see, I passed all of my classes. I have a solid degree, a bachelor's degree in IT engineering. I still find coding to be one of the most fascinating industry, and computer science IT to be one of the most fascinating industry to be in. That is, if you are truly genuinely interested. Matlab, at the end of the day, even engineers are creative people because they are coding in to create something, right? It's just a different form of creation. अगर आप यूट्यूबर हो, आप वीडियो के सामने कुछ कंटेंट क्रिएट करो एंड एडिट करके फाइनल प्रोडक्ट डालो. इट्स जस्ट द सेम विद कोडिंग कि आप बैठे हो, कोड कर रहे हो एंड यू पुटिंग आउट फाइनल प्रोडक्ट, फिनिश प्रोडक्ट आउटसाइड, राइट? I just think what happened was, I was sitting in a car and I was a passenger in my own car. That's what happened. Anyways, looking back on it, in my college, मुझे ऐसे लगता है मैंने ना पूरा एडवांटेज नहीं लिया कॉलेज टाइम का. I did not enjoy the festivals hard enough and the extracurricular. I should have taken more participation in extracurricular activity. I was a loner यार. Partly because मुझे ऐसे कभी कभी लगता है कि maybe it is because of my resting bitch face. But resting bitch face has saved me from a lot of shitty people. Just putting this out there, I do have a resting bitch face and I have this aura of being not approachable, being very cold. मेरा ऐसा aura है ही और अभी भी है. And partly also I think because of the fact कि वो actually जो मेरा कॉलेज था, engineering college, वो मेरे ही होम टाउन में था. And so 99% people who were in my class, 99.9% people were outsiders coming from smaller villages, you could say, and I was always the one who would stand out. Like, it just felt like that. So मेरा क्वेश्चन है, isn't college supposed to be where you get to explore? If you could redo it, would you? That's an honest question to you guys. Would you redo your college life altogether? If I could, I would move to Mumbai, choose a different feel altogether. But then the question would still be the same, right? कि मैं क्या प्रोफेशन चूज़ करूँ. चलो मेरे को मुंबई के किसी कॉलेज में मिल भी जाता, पर मैं क्या लेती थी. And Mumbai is a very tough cookie to crack into because even in commerce and arts, the cutoff is pretty high. Like, people are shit intelligent and the cutoff is still high. So for me, my chances of surviving were better in my home city than in Mumbai. And yeah, like, there were financial problems as well. It made sense to, stick around in my hometown. Everything was cheaper and that's just the way it was. Anyways, now that I'm 30, I want to tell my 18-year-old self that, again, it's your fucking car. Don't be a fucking passenger in it. Don't even pretend to be a passenger in it. Take the wheel. the only way to know for sure is to, fail in it. That's how I try to tell myself. So pick up what excites you. Even if you fail at it, at least you gave it a shot. ऐसे नहीं कि आप रिग्रेट में रह जाओ, अरे यार मैं इतना यंग तो कभी होने नहीं वाली हूँ. You would still look back and say कि शिट तब ट्राई कर लिया होता, तो तब तो एनर्जी भी थी, जवान भी थी, थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर लेती इधर उधर, राइट? So just, if you feel something exciting, if it's calling you, I think you should do it even if it fails, and that's life. Just plugging in my gratitude, like it takes, of course it takes money sometimes to try things out, at least back then. Now there are free unlimited resources out there. Even if you want to travel abroad, there are a lot of Facebook groups who would let you couch surf in their house. In return for, maybe you can cook for them, or like maybe do nothing, but just, there are a lot of great community groups on Facebook. And so जहाँ राह है वहाँ चाह है वैसा. So anyways, I chose to stick around in my hometown. That honestly, मुझे ऐसा लगता है my town did not really have anything to offer, at least to me. 4 years of engineering, I lived in my bubble and I minded my own business. I was probably one of the cutest kid in the class, but I did not have, I did not, I used to think that nobody has crush on me. How the fuck is that possible? That's crazy, because only after I graduated is when I've come to know, okay, oh, so this guy liked me, oh, and this another guy liked me. And I was like, that's too late, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do with this information now? I'm not even in India. And thinking about, if I've had a crush, I did had a crush. I'm gonna talk more about that guy later. But yeah, that was just a bummer. Like, engineering year was a bummer. The only exciting part of it was YouTube coming to it right now. I was pursuing YouTube while also doing a degree in engineering. I was slugging through the classes, I won't lie, because it did not bring me joy. YouTube was the only thing that brought me a lot of joy. I started sharing my life online with strangers, and let me tell you, it had literally taught me everything I needed to know. You see, back then there were no tutorial and very few Indian creators on the platform. So I'm sort of self-made, you could say, self-taught. Everything there was to know about creating content online. Nobody was very out and open ki, hey, this is the tool, this is how you make your thumbnail, this is how you edit your video, because it was, even still back then, it was still that competitive, and people did not want to tell other people this gold information. Now everything is out and open. Everybody wants to tell everybody, okay, you can use this and this and this, and this is for free. And like, people are more sharing and more forgivable now than they were. Probably abhi wo self awareness hai thoda. While my entire college was busy either in extracurricular activities or studying to score the top rank, here I was busy creating content, and nobody knew I was actually doing it. There were a few who I've had a chance to tell them कि okay, मैं कर रही हूँ कुछ, देखना करके, do you like it? Like, people knew, some people really knew, and then some were like absolutely out of the loop, and I was okay with that. People don't understand the skill set that I learned over time with doing YouTube. So this storytelling, video conceptualization, shooting requirements, pre and post production setup की background में क्या होना चाहिए, blur आ रहा है क्या video, etc. editing softwares जो अलग से learn करने पड़ते हैं वो, uploading, सोशल मीडिया, वो मार्केटिंग, वो अपलोड हो जाने के बाद कहाँ मार्केट करूँ मैं कि मैंने वीडियो डाला है. There was brand collaboration. If any brand by chance reached out, what is a good amount to ask for them? Thumbnail designing to attract more audience. You see, I was very early in the market, and hence I think मुझे ऐसे लगता है I was too early in the market, and I did not grow as much as maybe Prajakta Kohli or even Shreya Jain did. I was simply too early. Maybe not. And I think it's the same for podcast. We'll know eventually how good or bad it is. I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna be delulu, and I'm gonna say that, Spotify is gonna reach out to me, and I'm gonna have my own billboard, maybe with one or two people, or maybe my own, but I'll have Kai Pan Aditi, out there on a billboard in Mumbai. I'm gonna be delulu and say this out loud there. Anyways, I moved abroad. I pivoted my content from lifestyle, moved towards actually helping, figuring out, how to spend, where to spend money, and living more intelligently abroad by saving, how to save, etc. etc. Made more educational ish, informative videos, got me views and a little bit of money, not enough. Fast forward 2 years, my view count was down. We are looking at 2018, 2019, during pandemic. I moved back to India, stopped producing and my last resort was to actually produce 30-second videos. But even when 30-second videos don't get you views, you're fucked. Like, there's nothing really that you have to offer. And like, I just stopped. 2022 March was where I told myself, you know what, just stop, it's not happening. Maybe I'll come back. I want to have more people. Maybe if I find a partner, or maybe if I'm traveling, I will pick up the camera. I think it's fun looking back on the adventure, like putting your video diary, your life out there. That's just wow. Still blows my mind that I look back on my videos and see how far I've come. Like, you don't realize it, you keep forgetting, and that's where you need to start vlogging your life. Anyways, let's talk about relationship. Oh my god, so I failed multiple times in a relationship, and that is why I am the way I am, and people don't understand this. Okay, so let's talk about this guy I met during my college period. Usually, ideally, that's the time frame, good time frame to find somebody for yourself, and like, that's that, right? So I had a crush on somebody. He was, I think, super senior. Yeah, if you don't know, super senior. So he was 2 years ahead of me, and I found him on Facebook. I befriended him. We started chatting. I actually liked him, and fast forward a year and a half into chatting and talking, whatever. He moved. Of course, he had to move to Mumbai to find a job. He got a job, and one random day he tells me, so he has a crush on this girl with tattoo in his office. He never really knew, I guess, or had a understanding that I had a crush on him. But मेरा question ये है कि why would any girl give you the time of the day if the girl does not like you? That is the question. That is so dumb. Long story short, I stopped talking to him after he confessed his crush on this tattoo wali ladki. And I graduated, I moved abroad. You would think the story ends there. No. He reached out on a random day, where I was doing my laundry at the basement in Santa Clara apartment. I think it was called Mansion Grove. Who knows? He reached out of the blue, and I was shocked. He messaged me on my LinkedIn asking me for my number, and I gave it to him. And here's what he said. He said he was asking what happened between us. Like, he remembered me, and we used to be good friends, and we were talking, and what happened suddenly, like, why did we stop talking? And that he was lonely, and it sucks to be in Mumbai, and that he does not know a lot of people, and he misses college friends. And I was like, okay, he's lonely, and that is why he's reaching out. And then eventually shit sort of started happening, like word vomit, not even shit, word vomit happened. And he was like, he's into hookup culture, and he would want that sort of relationship with me. And like, I was like, you know what, this is not it. Like, I don't want this. Like, I genuinely don't want this. So long story short, we stopped talking there. I failed even in this relationship. I'm never, I've told myself I am never going to run after guys, period. I love myself too much for that shit to ever happen again. What is funny is that I have been running after guys since, I could say, 7th or 8th grade, since I understood the term crush. I had a crush on somebody even in 9th or 10th grade. My junior nahi bolenge, sophomore, yeah, my sophomore year, I had somebody in my tuition class. I liked him, and he turns out he liked this girl who was sitting next to me, and shit went down. And like, after that, I did find I liked somebody else in my office, and he liked somebody more thinner and more fairer, and this girl, I don't know, and it just got awkward pretty quickly. I've been chasing, and people think, yeah, why are you still single? And I keep telling them I've stopped chasing. I used to chase men who were emotionally either unavailable or who did not think I was good enough, and so I just stopped chasing. That's what have happened. Now, if you like me, you chase me, period. I've done enough of that. Yeah. Let me share something about failure. People who are exceptionally good at something, they've made a lot of mistakes and they've seen a lot of failures before they got good at something, right? So is this, I guess my question would be, is this my decade of failure? My 20s was a failure, but I've learned a lot. I've learned so fucking much, and I'm so fucking grateful that I've had this decade long of career that I had to choose. I think somewhere, I was crying when I was sitting at the San Francisco airport. I was coming back home to Mumbai, flying back home on the 31st December 2017. I was at the airport. I was crying like a crazy person. The person sitting next to me had to console ki kya ho gaya, and I'm like, no, I'm just moving back home because my parents had invested a lot in me. But looking back now, I think that was the best fucking decision of my life, moving back to India, because if I was stuck with a H1B, I think I would be stuck in the same field for the rest of my life, and I would not have gotten the time to test out a lot of different things that I wanted to try, right? That would have been so fucked up. So fucked up. Like, I've had the chance to do engineering. I've had chance to do social media marketing. I've had the chance to do थोड़ा सा branding, थोड़ा सा consultation, freelancing. I've worked with a couple of individuals. I've worked in video operations. I've worked in content operations. I've worked with agencies. I've worked at a lot of places. I've worked as a YouTuber. Now I'm working as a podcaster. It's just, I don't think I would have gotten all of this to do if I was living in the US. Like, until and unless you're 100% sure that, hey, this is what I want to do at least for the next decade of my life, that is only when I would recommend you to go move abroad, live abroad. But other than that, find a lover and then settle down. That's if you want to move, that's how I would put it. And I think it's easy. I don't think dating is as hard as people put it up there. So just get on a good app. Hinge is a great app in Europe. Bumble is great. Tinder is even better, I guess. Yeah, just test out everything. I feel let's continue. Sorry. Failure is so essential in your growth, and probably the only thing that will make you go from better to the best that ever exists. It makes you better at whatever you do. I keep reminding myself after the slump, after the downfall. So here I was at the final year with no job, no boyfriend, no future as prospect with career engineering. I was asked as I graduated, do I want to study abroad? Because my plan was to become a celebrity makeup artist, and my parents wanted more from me, so I jumped. Yeah, I moved abroad, I studied abroad, I came back. I was crying miserably because I knew I fucking failed. The plan was to stay back to earn the money that I spent, but it did not work out. I failed. So, failed as an engineer, failed to find a partner, failed to live in the US, to sustain a life there, to find a job. I failed even at that. I failed to find a partner in the US. I failed with my YouTube. I failed to stick with one trade for longer period. I failed in marketing. I failed in operations. These were at least my last roles, and now here I am. I love storytelling. I love interacting with people. I love the media. I love like that aspect of it all. With my podcast, this is my 20s. My 20s was a failure, and here's what I feel I have learned. Engineering is easy. At least coding was easy, but my heart was not in it, and I knew it. I knew it by the time I graduated. So no regrets, not even for a second, that I chose a different path for myself. That both of my siblings are still an engineer, and they still have a legit job, and they're earning boatload of money. I learned to be more open to making new friends, how to sustain a life living abroad, how to live alone. I learned that I had a resting bitch face and that I'm unapproachable. I learned the art of makeup while I started YouTubing. I was obsessed and I learned so much. I learned how to create videos from scratch. I learned ideas come very easy to me, that not everybody can talk in front of the camera as good as I do. I learned how social media marketing worked, how to actually create content dedicated to each platform. I learned to travel alone abroad. I learned to eat alone at a restaurant. I learned to ask for help. I learned that it was okay to cry. I learned to live alone and enjoy my own company. I learned people who are meant to stick around will always be in your life, no matter where you end up, who you end up with. I learned that I was a bad bet somewhere, and that study abroad opportunity should have been gifted to my sister or brother. Maybe they would have made better out of it all. But no regrets, no fucking regrets. I learned so much. I learned that I didn't love myself enough, and I wasn't obsessed with myself enough. Only after getting so many fucking rejections in this, system of arranged marriage. What does really matter at the end of the day is making memories with or without money, and that is still something that I am learning. Memories, that's all we've got at the end of the day. You are the youngest today, so for the two people who are still listening, take that risk. This is your sign. Apply for that job that seems out of reach. If the job seems out of reach, that means there is room for your growth, for you to learn. If that job is something that you feel you can do all of the key tasks given, that means you are overqualified, period. So apply for that job that seems a bit or maybe out of reach. Travel more as much as you can. Move abroad. Hook up. Have multiple partners. Whatever that brings you joy. Life is too fucking short, and with the way the world is going at the moment, we only have today to look forward to. Fail as much as you fucking can. Bye.